Yo, today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity should not be public, so protect yourself at expressvpn.com/achievement.
The whole show. Let's go.
Whoa, we're in the studio.
Hey, what up?
What up?
Off topic. I'm here, and you
We're all here.
We're all still
should
here.
protect yourself with ExpressVPN, right? You know what I mean? Lock it down. You working from home? Protect your sensitive data with an extra layer of security at expressvpn.com/offtopic.
Even if you're not working at home or working at all, if you're just browsing the net and you just want to secure your data.
Yeah.
Matt, do you have anything to say about it?
No?
Okay.
Man, a few words, and I like
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
about it, but I'm fine.
What's up? We look so small at the
We do look
table.
very
one of us is small.
I'm
Well, one of us is shrinking.
red as usual.
Tinier every day,
Skin-wise.
Michael.
Close to the same color as Michael.
They always put the little guys at the end of the table.
Yeah.
That's why Matt and I are
Yeah.
at the end. You know,
Well,
we're shrinking.
We're all normal, and you're just extra small today.
I'm turning into Eric. and
Yeah.
Eric's
Yeah.
turning into me. I don't know if you've heard of that. Hey, what's up? We got Mikey, Lindsay, Trevi, Maddie.
Yee.
Heyo,
Maddie.
Lindsay E.
Yeah.
Because your name's already kind of like nicknamey with the E at the end.
Yeah. Well, my middle name is Elise, so it's Lindsay E. Already, it's kind of perfect. Yeah.
Lindsay E. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we're
But with
back
an
in the
AY.
studio. I'm excited to be here because the curse has been lifted. There's a show that we were trying to film for quite some time, and it's finally, after many months. Okay, it's been maybe a month.
Well, it feels like many.
It had to be over a month at least.
Really?
At least
Yeah.
one or two.
We'll
yeah.
round up.
I don't know, but yeah, we filmed a new
Yeah.
show with some old flavor to it,
Old friends.
some old friends and new friends all combined. I'm excited for it to release. Look forward to that in the next 5 months. But no, it'll come out sometime soon. But yeah, we finally got back into the studio and got to film that. A little bit of goop.
What you're saying is we came into the studio to film this show, and then since we were already here, we said, let's do this piece of crap. And now we're on off
The
topic.
turd has been laid.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we do. We lay those turds.
Now you're smelling.
It's out there.
You're smelling the turd from this morning's meal.
There's certainly a
pungent.
smell in the
That
air.
was a big
Yes.
one.
And part of it is from what we filmed earlier. Anyway, that's enough vagueness and implications and teases of teases. But yeah, keep an eye out on the Achievement Hunter channel for Go-Op.
Yeah.
I'll let that just air itself
we-
out.
Now it's out there.
A lot of people figured it out
Yeah.
pretty much already, but I'm excited for it.
Don't think we can tease anything else about it without giving away.
I took
what happened?
Yeah.
well, then we had lunch after that, and then I took an 8-minute nap.
Was probably all that whole milk you drank.
It was very milky.
Yeah.
Oh, cuma milk people?
I didn't take my pills.
Well,
either.
I don't do my milk.
You're gonna have the
Yeah,
squirts.
yes.
That's gonna attack my senses.
Oh no, it's gonna attack me. It's gonna
attack
Their senses get attacked.
right about
Your
the end
bowels.
right about the end of the show / the ride home. I'll be writhing in pain, screaming. I got a caramel milkshake because it was too good to pass up.
Screaming.
I'll be screaming.
His butthole will be
Screaming
on fire.
and writhing.
Just in the back seat, rolling
That's what he
around.
does. Yeah, he literally.
Really?
Fetal position.
Well, I can't go in the back seat. There's no room now.
No, but you do it in the passenger seat and you go.
Oh, I'll lay it all the way down.
You'll like spin upside down and start turning around in the seat.
Well, it's mostly lay down flat and then like gut up. So it's like,
Yeah.
like imagine
gas
like
flies.
Alien.
You gotta
know?
elevate
Yeah.
the lactose bubbles.
Well, it's taking direct control of the body is what's happening, and so I
you
just
ever,
let it win.
Whenever you're like, I don't know if you've ever been constipated or or have gas pains or any of those like digestion, like when you have lactose
Screamies.
intolerance, you got the screamies.
Screamies.
And so you have those, it's just deeply uncomfortable, all those like intestinal
Yeah,
things.
it's like being stabbed
Well, they're the
from the
creamy
inside.
Do you ever get like songs stuck in your head in those moments? Because like when I was younger, I would have a consistent rhythm of like stomach issues, and I feel like my mind would latch onto the worst song. And I remember there was one time it was the theme song to Barney. Or it was like, I love you, you love me, or whatever.
Oh, it was like Barney
and I'm
the Backyard
writhing around.
Ganger.
I'm like, I didn't even want to be comfortable. Like, instead of being in bed, I just slithered out onto the floor and I just started writhing around.
Floor? Okay.
And that's all I would do is just writhe around and go, ah. And then, like, in my head, it would be, I love you.
No.
And it was hell.
Poo.
I wish
I got all of that minus the song. I do feel when you're uncomfortable, especially tummy for some reason, the floor is where you want to be.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be rolling around on the floor, ideally a cool floor. Like a tile floor or like a hardwood is better than carpet. And you just kind of want to roll and writhe, you know? And then
A lot of moaning.
it helps.
It does. I don't know what about it helps.
And what it does is it brings everyone else around you down to your level.
Exactly.
Whether they like it or not.
You're coming with me.
And that's going to be the ride home.
Yeah, well, you know what? Now I completely sympathize, Lindsay. I apologize, but I'm with that man over there.
Just thinking about the science aspect now, trying to be productive with this. Like, okay, we have a problem. How can we reach a solution? Now, this might be a bit extreme. You know the surgeries they have when there is a bunch of air in your lungs that needs to come out and can't, and they stab you with a straw.
When they get you with a pen in the neck,
Yeah.
and
I
it goes,
Your tracheotomy.
This is
lie
step
face down
2
on
of
the
something.
Well, this could be very soothing.
Thanks, Wiki.
Step 2 of something.
Is that a dead
Just
person?
dying? Yeah.
Are they
That's me.
dead?
That's like my hairstyle
I'm ready
right
to
now.
die.
That's me.
Lie down on the cold floor.
Trevor banged his knee.
Very soothing.
She's
Lie
like-
down on the cold floor. It's soothing.
Smelling the lemon
It would be.
bush
It would
right
be.
now.
That's why I tend to, like, during Extra Life, I'll end up licking this floor because it's so smooth and lickable.
You licked where like the vom dust was, you know, like the old janitors in the school
what
would
it
like
is.
sprinkle some vom.
Don't tell me what I
I'm
did.
explaining for those at home, the
okay.
viewers in the audience, and the Matt Braggs right here.
I'm not liking that.
Maybe Matt didn't know.
I just need
liking
to know
that.
from Trevor's engineering brain, which probably doesn't cross over, but I'm going to trust you, scientist man. If I stab Michael in the gut with an object that is very similar to that straw that
I
punctures
don't know
the
if engineering has anything to do
Go
with
on.
it.
Hang on.
He says, yes, we're doing it.
Finish the equation.
Stabbing him in the
Yeah.
gut with a straw-like
To
object.
Release the air pressure from his tummy. We allow it to go down a little bit,
Absolutely.
and then remove. I feel like that'd be fine.
I
Right?
feel it would hurt. You would
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you would probably want to do it with a needle, so that way you didn't
Hypodermic,
open up.
preferably.
Yeah, so you didn't open up a gaping hole in his intestines, because otherwise he would go septic very quickly and probably die.
See, I thought he'd float around like a balloon. He'd go,
I mean, he would do that. Oh, hey. He would do that,
Filming us that.
except
That's the part of surgery I'm tired.
he would
They
die-
got
die very
strap him
quick,
down.
yeah.
And they go,
you could do that though. I mean, if you like, because like if you like, you could feel the air going. You could feel it in there, and then if you like push sometimes, like you could feel it go.
I push out my poots sometimes. Like, I'll go
There's like positions you can get in to get your butt up.
do that, yeah.
You know, like they're
Yeah.
yoga positions that get the things flowing.
Or you do what Gavin does and you suck the air in.
She's all right. We're back to that argument.
I mean, you've heard that, right?
I mean, I know what he's talking
Remember
about. I've
when
experienced
when
this
we were all
before,
little
but
kids and we sucked a bunch of air into our butts.
do you think he could like breathe in and out of his butt? Like,
I think he
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just repeating what he said.
have you not had that happen though?
No, I don't think I've
have
ever
experienced
sucked
this.
air into my butt.
I didn't intentionally sit there and be like, time to take a deep breath from both ends.
No.
But I have, you know, I've been a child sucking air. No, it's happened. I don't know what the situation is that calls for it, but
You were writhing around on a cool floor. You flipped on your
Ass
belly.
up.
He was in the ass
You
up
just
position.
started breathing.
Now, the best way I can try and describe this is, you know, like when you've lost the pressure
Matt, you
seal.
staying with us? You good?
just-
Yeah, Matt,
was
that's
thinking.
he's
thinking.
looking faint.
You've lost the pressure seal on a
don't know.
soda or something.
Don't know
like that.
anymore.
Yeah. And you feel the release for a moment. It's not like
What
an air
is that?
intake.
Hold
That's
on,
your
let's-
asshole, Trevor.
Oh my god! And then you feel the release.
Yeah, it's a little bit. So it's not like
Matt's
you're,
trying to breathe right now.
trying to,
not like,
trying to think about anything else.
Matt, you're not taking in air. It's just that the seal is
I
now
would hope
open
not.
for passage of any kind. It's just open now.
Airs, solids,
Yeah.
Some goop.
Yeah, the trade ban's been lifted.
Spaghetti?
The blockade is done.
Spaghetti
The
could be
time to poop
car
is
toy.
super small.
Well, we didn't really get.
Right?
We're not really talking about poo though.
Our
We're talking about breathing.
to toots have been.
We're talking about breathing through your butt.
Really?
No one said poop. Don't sully this.
Yeah, I said
alright?
poop.
Yeah, don't make this.
My bad.
Very clear.
Let's not be grotesque, everyone.
I mean,
Yeah, the kids are watching.
Time to poop was 13 minutes.
That's a
Thank you,
mistake.
Mohawk J.
outta
You
here,
know,
kids.
I'd argue it.
Tell
It
your
was not
parents.
poop talk.
Well,
I would argue
Tummy
before.
talk. It was tummy talk. And it was.
I felt it was very
sucked in
cerebral
air.
and
He was talking
medical.
about like constipation.
Yes, these
stuff.
are adjectives
What's
I
he
would
full
use.
of?
Well,
why do you gotta put me out like that? I'm rolling my sleeves and you're gonna.
yeah. Well, they were like,
you're
"Ooh, Trevor's about to get into a fight."
Yeah.
I gotta. Hold on a second.
I don't want to get my sleeves all bloody.
I don't want to. Nothing up the sleeves. Come here, Matt Bragg. Let's lay it on the stones.
Right, solid one.
I was gonna joke about you holding a cigarette pack there, but like no one does that anymore anyway.
It's just, yeah, that's where I hold my cigarette
vape
butts
then.
now.
there you
Just
go.
like.
What, the ones you just find?
Yeah.
I collect them.
Yeah. I collect them sometimes. Sometimes you don't find the one. You find the ones that aren't finished, burned down all the way. You can get a little extra nicotine.
It's like second cigarette.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like second cigarettes.
Jesus, don't do that.
I have
Who's
seen.
watching?
I have
Burn down
seen
the whole little tiny bit.
a handful of drunk folk. I think it was at a Foreigner concert, and they were rolling around.
Awesome.
There was a
Yank screaming.
Tony X screaming.
Take your life.
The echoes
the
from the
cold
porta
floor.
potties were terrifying, haunting. No, but truly, over where there was a dim part of like, it was like underneath the stadium or whatever, and there's some dim corner where they put all the porta potties, and you know, you do your business there, but there was a couple of gentlemen that were just kind of rolling around in the muck outside of them, looking for things, and I kind of paused.
Treasure.
They were looking for treasures, and they would pull up a couple little cigarette butts, and they'd be like, "Oh, excellent! I got a good one." And they were smoking, you know, basically like polishing off empties, but with cigarettes.
Adult
I've
me
never
doesn't like
experienced
that.
this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Broke college kid me goes, all right, hang on.
Hold on,
Hang
they're
on.
onto something here. But I've never seen that at a Styx concert. Never saw that at a Blink-182 concert. Never saw that at a Katy Perry concert.
We're engineers.
That
there.
happened to me
That's the
once.
thing. Oh yeah.
Were you at a Katy
Happened
Perry
to you?
concert?
Yeah, well, I think I've told the story, and it's short and succinct. I was at the Warped Tour. I was looking for shade. There was only one pavilion, so we're sitting in there. And then this whole sketch unfolds as Katy Perry has this phony phone call with her father, Edward Rooney, and talks about kissing a girl, and then the song starts. I kissed a girl and I liked her, whatever the name of the song is, and I was like, I've never heard of this person, but I guess this music will wash over us as we kind of cool off in the summer breeze. But yeah, so yeah, I've seen her live in concert.
That's crazy. That seeing Katy Perry and going, who's this?
It was like 2008 or something like
That's
that.
crazy.
But yeah, that's when her song, I guess, was just taking off, because that was like her first major single, right?
One of the big hits. Yeah.
like that.
I think so. I don't know.
Well, there was a, let's see, California Girls was way later because that's when she partnered with Snoop Dogg. We had Kissed a Girl. Before that, she was a Christian artist for a while. I know she had some Christian singles. And then she featured in a music video for the Fratellis, I believe. Help me out, audience. Someone who likes music.
Nelly Furtado?
Yes.
Fratelli?
She's like a bird. She flew
Nelly
away.
Fratelli.
Nelly, if you're out there, we miss you. Come back.
And then there was what was it, Alien? You're so
was way later.
hypnotizing. That was in college.
Kanye.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
late.
And there's
Firework, right?
That was one of my
Firework was in college too.
Firework, yep. Feeling like a paper bag.
Plastic.
Plastic bag. I felt like a paper bag. I was
They
recycling.
recycle back then. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Up, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, Katy Perry. But anyway, those are activities that happen at a Foreigner concert. So, you know,
Wow.
it was a good time. Wow.
I'm just thinking about that band now because they're the same band that sings the "Oh, do ya wanna." She's in that video. That's listen.
No
Internet.
one knows what you're
I
talking
listened.
No one
Don't bother me.
knows
Hi, Kai.
or
Kai's
cares.
Kai lives in the RTTV chat, and I'm here for
Do
it.
we know that she's not a bot?
Do we know she's not Katy Perry?
Yes.
Do we know that it's
Yeah,
not?
that
It's called
one,
ET.
yeah.
Thank you. Do we know it's not Denise? Finally figured out, like maybe worked out an account
I think
situation.
so.
no, I guarantee it.
I'm not worried about that one.
Matt, have you
It's me or no.
By what?
you've been to a couple concerts, but have you been to one that's like really memorable for you?
No.
Glad I saw this
Couldn't even
band.
fit that
I've,
sentence.
Yeah. No.
I've been to I guess up into like 2, maybe 3.
Which ones?
I know I went to a Skillet concert because they were the only people that came to Aiken ever. So I was like, I guess we got to go. We got to go to the concert. Yeah, they're not like bad.
I'll check them out.
That's
Bird's
about
eye.
it. I went to a Seether concert once.
Seether, I recognize that.
And I was gonna go to a System of a Down concert, bought the tickets, and then I got sick that night. So
Interesting.
Instead, you
Yeah.
got down with the sick.
I did. That's a disturbed one though.
That's actually really funny. I was like, great reference. Oh yeah, you're right. I think, there was a time where I did security for a minute, like little old me. I'm like, oh, stop! I'm gonna pat you down. Stop. Don't come in here with all that paraphernalia.
Please.
I would pay to see
Hey,
that.
you
Trevor.
dump those cigarette butts in the muck and roll it up for 'em later.
Someone else will go digging for
You
the.
roll around
up
after
later,
the
yeah.
show.
I'll find him.
I saw quite a bit of activity there, but there was one time where I think it was at the Blink-182 concert that I went to. There was Fall Out Boy, there was Panic at the Disco, and then there was Matt and Kim. I think this was the first time I'd ever heard of them. But it was a good concert. I was out in the yard or whatever, because there's a pavilion, then there's like the grass. My friends were in the grass. Another friend and I had seats closer up. But for the opening acts, we're like hanging with our friends out back, and I'm like, all right, time to go. Main act's coming on. We're slithering through the crowd. There's this inebriated woman who is like double fisting like a champ. She's having a great time, and I slither past her. I'm being very delicate as she's kind of moving with the motions of the ocean.
On not the ocean.
Right, on stable ground. And I slip by, she bumps into me, I get a little beer down my back. I'm like, oh. But I was like, whatever. She's having a good time. I'm like, you know what? I apologize. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but she was like,
Or you bumped into me.
right. But I was like, I just apologized. I was like, oh, sorry about that. And then I turned, but I could see, like when someone has that kind of, I've drank a lot and I am now very angry. Kind of, she was like fuming kind of look. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, an accident. I turned back around to continue slithering through the crowd, and that's when I felt a lot of moisture down my back. And she had like thrown her like her more polished off beer onto me, and she had the rest of the full one. And I was like, what the hell? And then she like ran at me with this full cup of beer in her hand. She's like, ah! She comes at me, and I'm like, oh my god!
Beer.
Yeah.
Out of instinct, I'm like, I don't want to like attack anybody, but I'm being attacked right now. So I thwap the other beer, full cup, like 12 ounce, bang it out of her hand, send it flying, beer into the crowd. And then she comes swinging at me like Fry. Like when Fry was like, she's like kind of doing this.
Crazy.
And I'm like, ah. And I just luckily enough caught her wrist as she's like trying to, and then I just kind of like put them together, and I was like, can someone help me?
Yeah.
And
Holy shit.
How small were her hands?
She was very.
I
she
put
was,
them together.
Yeah, she was a very
They
petite-
fused like clay.
Well, they didn't fuse, but
fused together.
Like,
Turns out she was Gumby.
I didn't have long fingers.
Kept it together like a crocodile jaw.
Yeah, like I just held her hands together.
It can't open
Give
up.
me your wrists. Hold your wrists together. Do you mind if I?
Yeah, go for it.
And I just held her
Yeah,
like
you can do
this.
Oh my god.
And
Most people would go like, haha.
right. But I think she was. I mean, she was a very petite woman, but but she was also
Also,
like
you're
I said,
tall.
very inebriated. I'm long.
Yes.
I'm long.
And stereotypically, the shorter the woman, the more the fight. I've seen. Like,
And you're
ready
right.
to go.
And I was like,
So-
listen, I get it. You're out here. You're ready to mosh. I'm feeling it. But and so like I was like panicking, looking for security. And maybe this is how I became a security guy.
Whoa, it turns out you were looking
that
for
guy.
yourself.
Oh,
Yeah. He was looking, he saw a mirror.
future me came
I
running
was
out.
the hero. I needed all.
I saw her crash.
There he
I'm
is.
the hero.
Anyway, I killed her right there.
No, but yeah, some really like strong like security guys were like, oh, what's going on here? They broke it up and then pulled us aside. I got taken out. But I was like, I'm gonna miss the concert. I was getting very upset. I was like, I didn't do anything, but like, she came at me. I don't know what I was supposed to do. But anyway, we didn't miss the act. We both got released back into the wild and it seems fine.
I'm glad you're okay. Yeah.
No, it wasn't like an actual attack. I think she was
still in
just.
captivity,
She was just.
Did you
doing
hear
the
how
whole-
small this woman was?
She was
She's
about
been
5 inches tall at most. She could
And
fit
shrinking.
Yeah, and
as time went on.
Shrinking. It was a very wild experience, but that's probably one of my, just going back to one of your questions, one of my more imprinted into my mind memories from concerts. Nothing else too crazy.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Voodoo Ranger. Voodoo Ranger is the beer that doesn't take itself too seriously, and neither should you. It's the beer that you pick based on the can design alone that doesn't disappoint, and it is a nice design. My two favorite Voodoo Ranger beers are the Captain Dynamite and the Imperial IPA. I like the Captain Dynamite because he looks a little like Achievement Hunter on a can. It's a real hazy IPA that explodes with tropical flavors and aromas. And then there's the Imperial IPAs, which I like to call greenies. Okay, I'm always doing it, all right? That is a rare blend of hops and complex, rich flavors. Today, I'm drinking the Juicifer, another in the delicious line, because that's what was in the refrigerator. And with Voodoo, that's really all you need. Look, you have your favorites, you have your first picks, and then you have, it's all good. I'm gonna drink any of it. And if you like what I'm saying and the style of Voodoo, visit @Voodoo Ranger on Instagram and Twitter to hear more. Please drink responsibly and live rangerously.
I've had a few. It's just like weird. I've been to a lot of concerts. Surprise. I like music a lot. So I've had the range of like going to a big Broadway musical to like big band camp production, classical production where like everyone's wearing their gloves and the dainty and they do this, or like straight up rock concert where there's like mosh pits going on. And even that's different depending on the mosh pit you're in. I have,
suppose?
but it was like sad middle school moshing.
Then
where
you
we're like,
have it.
watch out, guys.
So that's like the kind of shovies, but also like, ah,
The
God.
shove-
Kind of. Yeah, the shovies is a good way to
There's
put
a
it.
bunch of people doing this.
Yeah.
I could see you like moshing though.
Thanks.
Because like you got some stories with your sister where like, you know, some like
younger, but older times, Lindsay, yes, absolutely. Now I'd be like, I want to take a nap. Like, just stop
Older
it.
but
Stop it.
younger, just so you know.
Yes, younger Lindsay,
Lindsay,
older
a long
times.
time ago, Lindsay wasn't older
version.
than they are
I'm
now.
the newer model. Hello. Yeah.
Back when I was
please.
40.
Whatever, my programming.
previous
But 20 now.
Yes.
They're Benjamin and buttoning as we speak.
I was kind of like that when I first started with Achievement Hunter. That's part of the appeal too. Is like I was a rowdy kid and I liked like getting in little fist fights.
scrappy.
Scrappy is a good way to put it. And like the sports kids, all about it, or like dudes in my school, all about it. Achievement Hunter, same thing. So I would constantly try and like find a scenario where I'd be like fighting Jeremy, and he was like, "I don't want to fight you." I'm like, "Come on, man, just like let's go."
Do it.
While Jeremy's like, Gavin, fight me.
Well, like the kids I grew up with were like, I don't know, kind of like rough and tumble, but like, we never fought and we didn't like wrestle. We would like do stupid shit where we would get hurt a lot, but that didn't really bother us. Like scrapes and bruises and stuff. And like the closest I can put that to is Jeremy. But then Jeremy will be like, "You guys ever just like choke each other unconscious?" I'm like, "No."
Well,
No, not that.
No,
that didn't make its way to South Carolina.
I didn't do that. And he's like,
No.
"Yeah,
It
we
jumped
used to
off
just
the
like,
roofs.
I passed out."
The
Like,
sleeper hole
that's
was
like
a super big
they were
thing in
like
middle school.
they were like Jeremy was always like, you know, like, "Yeah, we just like box each other," and I blacked out. I was like, "No."
I mean, like I shake.
definitely never that far.
I had a basement fight one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fought though, like, because I did Taekwondo. I know
Yeah,
you
yeah.
did. Did you do karate?
I did
or-
Taekwondo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did
I did
Taekwondo.
DBZ.
You did DBZ?
Yeah.
Good show off.
I focused on my chi until I learned to fly.
At Jello.
Then I hit the ceiling and I was
Hey.
like, let's not do that anymore.
If Gohan can teach his girlfriend,
It's
I
true.
feel like
Why
I can
couldn't I learn?
Right.
Just
If
She has a
Herbie will
name,
do it,
Trevor.
I forget it.
Videl.
Videl. Okay, thank you.
Wife now.
It's
Well,
Hercule's
I
daughter.
didn't want to play my hand. I didn't know her name.
Your hero, Hercule.
My hero.
Quiet. That's her mother-in-law. Jesus.
Who's the mother-in-law?
I said Chi Chi. It was like, oh,
Chi-Chi.
She's
like,
that's fucked up if that's Gohan's girlfriend.
that'd be weird.
That would be very
Yeah.
fucked up.
you don't
Also,
know
my
Saiyan
brain
law.
registered Goku.
Oh no.
Okay?
Listen,
Let's
it's all
not
good.
disrespect the Saiyans out there.
Why didn't Chi-Chi learn to fly?
It's a good question.
Lazy.
That could
She
be
doesn't
it.
need to.
She doesn't give a
That's
shit.
true. She
quite
doesn't need to
frankly.
because Goku can just do it for her, I guess.
Right.
True. Also
She would
true.
just tell Goku.
I don't know though.
Do that.
Yeah, say though, she's out there telling him he's got to get a driver's license. That only
did.
seems fair. Although
Yeah.
he didn't get it.
He can drive a
He didn't,
tractor.
no.
And then when he gets stuck, he can just move it with his hands.
Did Piccolo do it?
I think they both failed.
Oh,
they
well,
did it
that makes
together.
sense.
He blended in because he wore a hat.
Nope.
Piccolo?
Yeah, there was like one filler episode where Goku and Piccolo went to go get their licenses, and then
sorry,
like, it was
I
a disaster.
I don't think that would work.
I just like
Sir,
that.
are your muscles exposed?
Thank God you wore a hat.
Edition.
No one saw that. Pretty
sure he wore a
Now that
hat.
you're green. Jesus. No one cared about that one.
I'd like to think that in real life, Matt Bragg's sitting down, like he's got the clipboard. He goes, "All right, sir, is that Mr. Pickle?" And you just look at the guy, and it's very clearly like an alien in like a baseball hat, and you're like,
I just don't
No.
care.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's,
That is.
this is
I'm
not my
a
problem.
driver
It's-
instructor. Let's move on.
Yeah.
They encountered.
If you want to learn how
an employee
to
who
operate the
hates their
vehicle,
job.
by all means. I don't give one shit.
We've
You
also
want to assimilate?
Yeah.
we deviated a little bit away from your, I'm sorry, basement fights.
Oh,
hang on,
basement
hang on.
fights.
Hang
So
on.
you said Dragon Ball.
I know.
Jesus.
Well, it all started with a very nice conversation about Tom Brady, the quarterback
course.
at the time for the Patriots, and Peyton Manning, the quarterback at the time for the Colts. Very big rivalry there. I skewed some statistics to focus in on Peyton, and I'm like, listen, look at this, look at the spread here on these years. And they were like, well, if just go 2 years earlier, I was just trying to like, you know, knock some of the
Fudge the numbers.
Fudge the numbers a little bit, but it's always called a white lie because it's still the truth a little bit. But anyway, it became like it went from like
I'll kill you.
like this wasn't even a Patriots fan. It was like I think they
Was that math fan?
they were a math fan.
Very upset at what you were doing.
Statistic. But then it started getting like kind of offensive where they were like, "You keyboard warrior, oh, I'd beat you up," or whatever. I'm like, oh, all right, well.
And that was your dad?
My dad, I'm like, I didn't know you knew math like this. I don't know. It basically devolved into like they knew jiu-jitsu or had taken some courses in it. I had done like a very light amount of jiu-jitsu, mostly taekwondo, and I was mostly in like a tournament kind of fight style. So it's not like full swings, full kicks or whatever. It's because it's a point system. And so I'm like, so a long story short, it eventually devolves into when we're both back in town from college, it was freshman year, I think. We set up this fight. And I'll be honest, he was twice my weight, and eventually it got to the point where we're grappling on the ground, and then he just sits on me, and I'm like, and he couldn't pin me like or he couldn't do like an arm bar or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just sat there trying to buck him off, but I mean,
You blew my mind.
he was an old friend of mine, so
Well,
it was like,
Snorlax on
When you
Jesus.
said college, you just blew me away.
Right.
I was thinking you were 10.
no, this
Telling
was
this
some
story.
sock 'em boppers.
This
Like,
fucking blew me away.
I mean, you're still kids though, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't feel like a kid when you're freshman in college. You're a kid.
Yeah.
You're a kid.
I like that you planned it too. Like I would have loved to have sold tickets. Like, come see the fight of the century.
My friends were there. At some point, I put myself in a bad position. Like I tried to like do a takedown on him, and again, he's a bigger dude. It's just like the obviously different weight classes, and I think he just like grabbed my head and then he just picks me up by my neck, and so then I went and threw up because I was, I was all fucked up.
And then made him slip on it.
I slipped all over it.
Slip on this.
But yeah, no, I mean, like that's, I don't know. It's a little lackluster because it's not much of a real fight. I'm not no Jeremy Dooley like, hey, let's hit each other till we bleed sort of thing.
How many punches in the face can you take?
But
What?
I'm surprised none of you did the old choke out routine.
No.
That was very popular
I had
in 8th grade.
I had a friend try and choke me out in the school cafeteria,
Like
but
in a
that was
fight?
like kind of
Or
like that. Where
optional?
like you just mentioned them on top. I was like, oh yeah, and I had flashbacks to this person on top of me, and they had their arm like this on my throat was here, and they were pushing down on me, and so I was trying to like get them off of me, and I was pulling their hair and going like this with my other hand. So I was like, yeah, cool.
Okay,
I don't
go
talk to
away.
them anymore, but you know, I'm sure they're doing fine.
That was our last conversation.
Depending on the concussion.
I'm sorry, Matt. They were winning the fight. I had to defend myself.
They don't talk anymore to anyone. Lindsay knocked their jaw off.
Tube does the talking now.
Who does the talk? Oh.
Well, your time frame's interesting because you said college. That was like, I've talked about it before. Let's see. Elementary school was like bully Lindsay / shitty kid Lindsay, and then moving into like middle school. Through all these phases, Lindsay is not popular at all. Let's be very clear. Still a loser, but bully, sad loser. Then middle school, like I don't want to be a bully, and I'm gonna try and like find myself, but still like very awkward. / also finding the theater kids and being like, queer people. You. Okay.
Like, no. So that I remember that, like, kind of in high school especially. It was awesome to see people kind of like find new people, like, because I don't know how your school systems were, but we had a lot of schools, and like, so people would be all spread out, and then they kind of all filter into the same high school or two, and so they start meeting all these new people, and then their eyes are open to like totally different worlds, and it was kind of cool to watch people kind of
Open up?
open up and become themselves. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weird experience where like my elementary school, you know, I had like a friend group, and then for middle school, my family moved, like my parents.
Yeah.
So I had to go to a different school because I live with them.
New district.
Yeah, new district.
Whatever.
Met brand new people, all new. Got to know them for 3 years. Then went back to like the district
Hey, remember
with
me?
like my original friends. I was just like, hey, it's gone for 3 years, so what's up?
What I miss.
Do you have the kind of friends though that like, cause I remember like a lot of different friends I had, but I maintained a very small and tight friend group.
Yeah.
Kind of at all my stages of life. And for all of those different friends, I feel like all this time can go by. But as soon as I talk to them again, or if I'm home and I see them again, it's like no time has passed.
Yeah,
Just right back
that's
into
literally
it.
Like I've got a group that like we try to meet up like once a year.
Yeah.
And, like we couldn't do it this year, obviously, but like we got plans for next year.
Why
It's
not?
gonna- well, oh, you know, we just hate each other.
They were meeting up for a basement fight at the basement at the airport.
I'm scalping some tickets for that. It's gonna be good.
I'm bringing a knife this year. Don't tell.
Oh my God! Nice,
Well,
dude.
I've got rocks in my gloves.
I'm tired of losing.
I'm like y'all. I have friends from 5th grade that I've been friends with my whole life. It's just a small little group, and I can go for forever without talking to them, and then catch up, and it's great. But with our kids now, I'm remembering how it was to be as a kid, where like your neighbors are your friends just because they're another kid,
yeah.
or like someone you see on the street. You're
just
like,
there.
holy shit! Like, want to play? Let's
It
go.
was, it's like you came out the
DBZ fight.
Like that scene in Always Sunny where they're like,
play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes, literally, that's it, absolutely. And my neighborhood friends, again, we're all mostly dudes, but we played DBZ together, and that was that period of elementary school, which I guess would be my basement fight, was a trampoline, and we would play DBZ together, which was just an excuse to punch each other in the face. And then I gave
And
my...
say Kamehameha.
Exactly, thank you. So I was trying to be Android 18 and be a badass, and I kicked my friend in the nose, and he got a bloody nose, and his mom was a school nurse, and she came outside, and you know the stereotypical, like, Southern woman speeches that, like, I will bring down God's hellfire upon you. It was that for like 15 minutes about like this is why we don't kick people in the face pretending to be Android 18.
Fix my nose.
Mom, stop.
He's over there in pain, like,
I was like, okay, bye.
Did she chop it back into place?
I would assume so.
Well, you were there. That's why I'm asking.
No, he got an Android nose later, actually, Robo nose.
Oh, were you pissed? Did he become Android?
Yeah,
18 then?
actually.
was Android 18 the blonde one, or was that
Yeah,
17?
17 's the black
17 was
hair,
the
yeah.
black hair, the boy.
Yeah.
She was a girl.
Who ended up with Krillin, and now I don't even know how
then
that's
they
working
came up
out.
with-
Yeah.
Human, like the wished back version of.
Well, no,
yeah,
they.
she's still an android.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's
I
like.
thought she was human at that point because they had kids.
I think they retconned it or something at some
Yeah.
point. They were both androids.
Yeah.
But then they later explained that they weren't built. They used to be human, and then they were turned into androids.
So they're kind of hollowed out.
Yes, and then like they wished a bomb out of her. That was the only wish that was
basically
made.
it, yeah.
Was get that bomb out of there because they had bombs. Because then there was 16. That was the big dude, and he blowed himself up. And then Krillin said, they were like, "Bring back Goku," and then the dragon's like, "Goku said no," and he was like,
Which is a thing he can do.
Also, that was your wish. Bye.
no, he went, pick something else, and he went, get that bomb out of there.
I guess.
That was it.
I guess them and 18's
Yeah,
like,
and then Krillin was like, "That was me."
yeah, wasn't there like a rule I can only bring back people once or twice?
Yeah, but then
whatever?
they got the different Dragon Balls. They
That's
had
true.
They reformed the new ones because
Namek ones,
because Kami
died.
he refused with Piccolo, and then the Dragon Balls turned to stone, and then they brought back Dende, and he made new ones, and then you could get 2 wishes.
Going back slightly, because Chad's talking about it, and we've had this discussion before. Android 18 and 17 are cyborgs, but they were called androids in the dub for some reason.
Boom.
So-
That'll answer
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I mean, they're definitely cyborgs
Yeah.
for sure, but
translation error? I don't know.
Rolls off the tongue more.
Yeah,
I don't
Android
know.
definitely implies
or-
bot,
or-
cyborg. You're right.
Gives
yeah.
a shit error,
Yeah.
I think. They went,
Yeah, whatever.
My
They're
mouth,
there.
it
They're
could
off.
match the mouth flaps better. I don't know.
No, that's true. That's true.
flaps.
Flaps.
That's what they call them.
The jelly donuts.
Flaps.
Yeah, there you go. The frying pan.
Yeah, the jelly donuts, those weird-ass jelly
Yeah,
donuts.
dude.
I don't know, but they made me hungry
Those
for that.
triangle white jelly donuts with,
With
the
rice.
black strip in them.
Bizarre. They've stopped doing that a lot in
Maybe
dubs
Brock
now.
just doesn't know what he was eating.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it's also.
Like, I don't know what.
I think
donuts.
in some year they went. Can we say rice balls?
Yeah.
Can we say
Yeah,
Can
like-
we say they're rice balls?
Yeah,
Are kids gonna
America,
freak
please
out?
step it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
stop.
Pokemon, great, they're into it. If you say rice balls, the show is canceled. Just shut
Right.
the fuck up and call them donuts.
Teach them all about
Here's what you're gonna do. They're gonna eat
dragons
donuts.
and fairies, but don't teach them about actual.
Whoa, Japanese culture?
I don't like
Excuse
the
me?
idea. It's like, no one's being taught anything. Okay.
Oh, you're being exposed
You're
to it.
just being exposed. Don't let them know. It's different.
Well, I feel like-
Even just say donuts, but they don't look anything like donuts. They're stupid. Shut up about that. They'll never know.
They
never
don't
look
know.
at 'em the
They don't
same.
know.
The debates died down, but it always like baffled me when people were like, no, like this anime is American. Like people would say like Yu-Gi-Oh! It takes place in America. I'm like, it does not. It absolutely does not.
These
That's
donuts
not
are
an American
great.
man.
Jelly filled are my favorite.
Damn it.
Crazy ass. They're coconut.
Where do I get those, Brock?
Right, I would like some.
I want to
Make
go to a
some.
donut shop and make
Dude,
these.
rice-
Like these. They're just
Anime
right there, jelly
rice,
donuts.
rice balls look amazing.
Do look good.
They look so good and like you can taste the stickiness. That's
Dude,
some sticky
Studio
rice.
Ghibli nailed
The food?
that. They nailed food. Spirited Away out here with the full spread, steaming, the buns, the
I can
rice.
understand why her
just like-
parents went to eat it. I'd do the same damn thing.
What was that?
That was me.
No, I know. It's his
last little face he made.
I just watched Ratatouille the other weekend too, and you're doing a Remy. Like, yes, the food.
Yes.
Is that you? Are you Linguini?
I taste with emotion.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Upstart. With all the reasons for existential dread these days, why add debt into the mix? Luckily, Upstart can help lift that weight off of your shoulders. Upstart is the fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan all online, whether you're paying off credit cards or consolidating high interest debt or funding personal expenses. Over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple fixed monthly payment. Unlike other lenders, Upstart looks at more than just your credit score. They also check out your income and employment history so they can offer smarter rates with trusted partners. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate upfront for loans between $1,000 and $50,000. You can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/offtopic. That's upstart.com/offtopic. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know that we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/offtopic, upstart.com/offtopic.
What's that? Oh,
Yeah. There we go. That's a good one.
I was thinking more about like when the parents
beginning.
were eating and then they became the pig people.
Left the head on the chicken.
That's the best part.
They left all the heads, you know, chicken head, fish head.
Hey, chicken head!
There's a human
Yeah, I'm
hand.
sorry. Hang on. Hang on.
There's hands in here.
Please tell me those are just people putting the food up there. Maybe
Nah,
reaching for
dude.
No.
shit.
Suck them down.
No face.
Finger licking. Hey, you licked my fingers.
Why do they have 5 fingers, but the people on the over there have 4 fingers?
Oh, so yeah, the continuity. I was gonna say maybe it's them, like Lindsay was saying, putting the food up.
Yeah. Because I know in this
I
scene they're
don't
begging for tips. You can literally see him throwing the gold pieces in the air because these guys are waiting for tips right now. They're like, yeah.
They're also like,
You're going,
"Kindly
yeah.
don't eat me.
That too.
That'll be a good tip.
That's a glimpse into how I direct people when they voice act. I'm like, in this moment you're going, so go. Thank
Do
you.
that.
You got that.
Well, it seems like you know the sound. Brock.
You got it. But I want something different than what I'm saying. As just the feel.
Just do the exact thing, but
Thank
different.
you. Yeah. Just change it a little bit. Jesus. Have you watched more Ghibli films other than Spirited Away?
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle
That's a good one.
was good.
I like that one a lot.
Let's see. I haven't seen a whole lot of them, but I've wanted to. I think they're on HBO Max, so I have no reason not to see them now. But on my list was like Kiki's Delivery Service. I haven't seen that one. trying to remember them all.
Princess Mononoke is my favorite.
Yeah.
Totoro.
Totoro's
There it
good.
is. That's the one. Those are on my short list.
Porco Rosso.
Next.
I would
Porco
check
Rosso was wild.
Michael had thoughts. Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to express them, feel free. But.
It was wild.
Yeah, all right.
It was a pig man who was like a fighter pilot played by Michael Keaton.
Correct. His best role.
But he got like changed into a pig.
So he's been Batman, he's been Pigman, he's been
Yeah.
Falcon. Well, not Falcon.
He was a man who loved pigs in King of the
Vulture,
Hill.
Birdman.
Birdman.
Was he?
That was Michael Keaton, yeah.
Which?
Pygmalion episode when he tries to marry Luann.
Oh, yeah.
that
Oh my
freak.
god.
Yeah, that's Michael
That's
Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, which makes it even better. Yeah.
And he gets like not drilled, but
I want to say lobotomized,
he gets,
but
well,
yeah.
not- he gets like a nail in his head.
He
It's
gets,
like,
he gets electrocuted and realizes what he's been doing the whole time.
oh yeah,
Shock therapy. It's all clear now.
yeah.
Oh, the fog's gone.
Yeah, the
I can
fog is
finally
gone,
think.
and then and then he gets like a spike in his
Yes.
brain.
Dark.
It's very dark.
But great.
Hey, there's Porco Rosso.
Hey, look at
Is that what he sounds like? Hey,
No,
Lindsay,
not
I
at
love
all.
your sounds, especially like
He's like-
because we work from home. We've developed more vocal things that we do because there's a lot of visual things when we're on.
That's true.
But one of the ones that I love that you do is a lot of.
yeah. Excited noise. It's like something's happening.
What's good about this is you might look at it and think there's any sort of pig inflection. There's not. It's just for him. It's just very much Michael Keaton, like low and methodical. Of like, well, gotta fix all the wings damaged.
Yeah.
This is gonna
Which is a
take me
very
forever to
Ghibli
fit. And it's
thing
just
to
like
do.
he's a giant hog.
Yeah.
It's like the mechanic in The Mandalorian. Like small little guy, just alien race, but he's just like, no. He was very short spoken, but yeah, he just has a lower grumble voice. You wouldn't. You would look at this pig man, you'd expect some sort of snorting happening out of
So you
it.
said the mechanic in Mandalorian. I thought you meant the woman.
Oh, not the woman.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the guy? Like, the guy didn't that guy get wasted?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay.
He was saving.
what I thought.
He was saving the baby. Yeah, I just forget his name and I forget the creature that he was riding.
He was earlier.
There's a
in the
lot
show,
of like.
right?
I believe so.
Like first couple episodes.
You see him, then he comes back in another time. Yeah. My brain's all over the place.
All
with
good.
That show.
And then you were thinking of Miss, what's her name?
Princess Carolyn.
Princess Carolyn.
Yeah.
Who had the hairstyle of Ripley from Alien?
She did. She
Yeah.
looked very like Ripley.
That was,
yeah.
I think, intentional.
That's awesome. If so.
Yeah, a little nod.
Well done. Lucky star.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm blanking on the name too, and the chat's going to mention it, but she was also in Strangers with Candy, and very well known for
She's
that.
the main character,
Yes,
Sigourney
yeah, which
Weaver.
I think, yes. Hates balloons.
Oh, is it really?
right? No.
No.
Okay. You were like, oh.
Yes.
No,
I was
not
yes
even a little
anding.
bit, yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Oh, I was right?
I did it?
Holy shit.
I've never done it.
Perfect. I'll accept it.
We should watch more Ghibli films, I feel like, as a Achievement Hunter group.
Why we started that in like 2019, like before they were on HBO Max, and it's funny because that was like the hallmark of Ghibli. They weren't anywhere, so I had to buy them all. So I started buying all the Blu-rays. So I bought maybe like a dozen, which isn't even all of them, but like all the big ones. And I was
Right.
like, well, I'll start going through all of these, and then if we watch them all, I'll buy like the other ones because I'd have to do like I would just like go to Walmart, see if they have any, go to another store, see if they have any, and just scoop up ones I didn't have. And so we were watching like one every month or two. And then that came to a grinding halt. And then it was like, hey, they're all on digital. And I was
Yeah.
like, great.
That makes it a lot easier. Because I was doing the same thing. It was like whatever Blu-ray was available, and I'm forgetting the name of the bookstore. It's a Japanese bookstore though, and they have a lot of like little knickknacks and obviously books and manga and toys and whatnot. But yeah, they had a whole like Ghibli section. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli?
I've heard both, but I say Ghibli from what I
Ghibli?
saw online.
There's
but, you know.
Ghibli, Ghibli, and Ghibli.
Oh.
It's actually. I've known it and I forget every time.
Yeah. I just want to say,
think
it's
it
a
might
proper
be
name. I want to say it
Well,
properly.
I looked up a clip of Miyazaki saying it, and I was like, I'm going to try and say it.
Oh, he says Ghibli?
It sounded to me like Ghibli was the pronunciation,
Gotcha.
but
Or
I'm white.
Americanized version
Yeah.
of the name.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Nope.
Oh, well,
I'm white.
never mind. I just, like, do you understand when you say Ghibli, whatever?
Oh, what it actually references to? Is it not? Is it an Italian word that he's
Oh,
referencing?
I'm not talking about anything like that. I just
Oh.
mean, you know the specific thing you're referencing, like, as in, this is the movie, like Ghibli films.
Like Ghibli Studios or a Ghibli film? Yes, I can classify them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You said it.
The logo has Totoro on it. It's a blue
perfect.
screen, white lettering. That's studio.
And it's 90% Miyazaki.
yes.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not at all. People think like Ghibli Miyazaki.
Yeah.
There are other directors, but he's done most of them, and is like the big ones are all Miyazaki, or the one people most identify with, like Spirited Away. And I think most of all the ones we mentioned were Miyazaki.
And he's also had a couple of times where like he's like, I'm done. I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, that's fine. Like he'll retire. And he's
he
like, I'm
went,
back. I'm like, all right.
Did you get baited?
Oh,
Did I trick you?
yes.
I get that though. You know, you reach a point where you're like, and I mean, I am very young, but like I can imagine that in a creative space where you feel like you've said maybe all of that you wanted to say, and that you want to rest on your laurels. I think if that's correct, and you just want to live life, travel, be with family, whatever that is. But then, like, you know, there's people like Miyazaki who are just so poetic and creative that they kind of can't help but have inspiration when they see the world, or have a message that they want to share in a way that's relatable. And then they put together a story, and then they're like, all right, I'm back. And then they make something, you know?
I imagine Miyazaki too is just like, I'm back, and they're like, yeah, no problem.
Okay, yeah.
You know
They
what I
have
mean?
a
like
red
Single phone,
just
yeah.
for him.
that was like with
Miyazaki signal.
that was like Curb Your
The Powerpuff Girls
Enthusiasm
answer?
with Larry David. Like it never got canceled. Even I can't remember what the gap was. I think it was season 8 to 9. From seasons like 1 through 8, they were like every year, and then he was just like, I'm taking a year off. And, and HBO was like, okay, let us know. And he's like, okay, I'll do another one. And then like 8 ended, and I think it was like 5 years or something like that in between the next season. But he was just like, okay, I want to do another one. And they're like, okay, here you go. And this is like, I imagine Miyazaki is much like that. Like no one's gonna tell him no. Why should we?
Yeah. Prove yourself.
Right.
Again.
And it's like, yeah, okay.
The whole team just kind of comes out of stasis and wakes up and goes, we're back.
It's a.
He's like Master Chief. He just goes, call me when you need me.
Yeah. And then he falls out of the sky.
It's Chinese history.
got the gel
It's a
layer.
little different, but I was thinking of like the clay warriors, like Miyazaki has clay animators that arise when they're ready.
Yeah.
Like, we're ready to draw. Let's go. That's incredible.
Did you ever play that? There was like a Ghibli game, but I can't remember.
Bug Fables?
Nope. Shut up.
Maybe.
What?
Shut up about Bug
I'm not playing
Fables.
Bug Fables.
You'll play it.
I can't remember the name of it though.
Well, thank you for it.
I'm trying to think of it.
I
Probably
know
not.
I know it came on. I know it came out on like the PS4 and Switch. But I know it was like straight up. It was a Ghibli game.
Chat, if you know. Yeah.
Gilby.
Ghibli.
That one's definitely
I get that stuck in my head.
Adam made a game.
Chat's saying that his son worked on one of the films too. I don't know which one, but that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Maybe we'll keep it in the family. See if he'll take over the business. Who knows? No pressure.
I mean, sounds like he already did. So.
Some big shoes to fill.
And he's got tiny feet. His son has very tiny feet.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh, no.
It was Nino Kuni. That was it.
Nino Kuni.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta check that out.
What'd you say? It was a game?
Yeah,
I-
Nino Kuni.
I think I bought it.
Yeah, I bought it and I've played like similar to Dragon Quest. Where
I've-
I played like the first like 6 hours of it. And I'm like, this is really.
Is it
fun.
on Switch? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I bought that a couple months ago because I was just scrolling through. I'm like, oh, this looks awesome. And I think I saw that was like, Miyazaki, fuck, I'm going to buy this. And then I bought it and I totally forgot about it. Even you explaining it, I was like, I don't know what the fuck Matt's talking about. And then when someone said the name, I'm like, you know what? I own that.
Yep.
I've never played it, but he got me.
That dude,
He got me. I just looked at a couple of I looked at the preview thumbnails. I read it, and I was like, "Oh, Miyazaki, I'm in." And then I forgot.
I have so many games.
Add it to the list.
Where I just am like, yeah, I'll get that. It's fun. It's on sale. I'll play that 1 year. That year's not.
I do that in the Nintendo store, not with the Switch, but I did that with my 3DS. So the new 3DS, Michael got it for me. It was awesome. And at the time, I played Majora's
did.
Mask, and I was like, hell yeah. So there's always these sales in the Nintendo store. I'm like, well, I'm not. Why wouldn't I buy these 20
Yeah.
games for $10? Get on over here. And I'm like, I'm never gonna play this.
Well,
I have like 100 games.
I always
Yeah.
think like I'll want to play it one day, and then like if it won't be on sale then.
Right.
And I'll be like,
Exactly.
but I remember when it was on sale.
Exactly.
Oh,
Were
no.
you there?
And I can't buy it.
And then yeah, you go. I'm not buying this again. Let me go buy Dragon Quest again.
Oh boy.
Shut up.
Let me get it for a fifth time.
Is that the game you've bought the most?
No, certainly
might be
not. I mean, Zelda probably, like Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time's
Yeah.
up there. I've bought
Skyrim probably.
Resident Evil 4 a number of times.
Yeah, Resident Evil
That's on
4.
everything. Super Mario World I've bought. The Nintendo
Nintendo
with
is
like with if you want to think like Super Mario World, right? You've got the original
Yeah.
on SNES. Then they added it to when they started making the Game Boy Advance versions. They
Yeah.
were like putting them on there, which was an amazing naming convention. because they called them Super Mario Advance, but like, or Super Mario Advanced, but the first one was like Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
And so then it'd be like Super Mario Advance 2, but that would be Super Mario World. And so like the numbers of the Game Boy game didn't correlate to the number of the actual fucking game it was, so it didn't make any sense. And then when they got the Wii and the Wii U, Nintendo was like, we're gonna put games on the Virtual Console, and so I would buy them on both.
Yep.
And then they got to the Switch, and they went, no.
Well, they're giving them, like, if you have the online now, but you got to wait for them.
It's like one a
whole
month,
thing,
man.
yeah.
And it's always like, I don't care about this game. Oh, a boxing game.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I just like, can you just put the games that I'll pay you for?
I mean, I think you might be right actually with that, but Super Mario World, because I also bought that SNES.
That's on there too.
Yeah.
Oh, and and the
Yeah.
classic, right? So I didn't buy it for online. I mean, technically I have online, but it is on Switch online.
Yeah.
And then classic, yeah. So I probably owned like 6 iterations of that game. It's up there.
That's a good game though.
Did they re-release any of the Tales of Symphonia? I say Tales of Symphonia series. Any of the Tales series?
Tales.
Yeah, sorry. I played Tales of Symphonia growing up, but I don't know if they ever re-released them, like an HD remake or anything like that.
I mean, they released.
Go right.
Vesperia. They
rings.
put out on the Xbox.
That was one of those games where I was like, it's on sale. I'll buy
I
it.
haven't played a second of it,
Yeah,
but I own
me
it.
either. Same.
But I own it, and that's like probably a 100-hour game. I don't know, 60 hours at least. It's a meaty one.
I
It
feel
ain't
like-
short.
I'm at a point in Dragon Quest where I have to do it.
Start over?
I have to shut
Oh.
up. I have to finish it. I have to get all the way through and finish it.
I don't know how I got onto the Dragon Quest kick, but like I bought it when it came out, which I think was 2017. Dragon Quest 11 came out. Played a couple hours, fell off of it, and then like a year later, or maybe even more than that, they released the Switch version, which was the definitive. So there's like added stuff. They added the like 2D version. They added a lot of like quality of life improvements. There's stuff that like simplified like annoying shit in the game. Like there's like a crafting element to the game, and you could only do it at like a specific spot. They added the ability to do it wherever you were, which just makes it so much easier.
Imagine playing through the brand new version and thinking you could still only do it at a specific spot.
Oh, really?
For hours and hours.
Oh, you weren't popping out the fun size forge wherever you
Nope.
wanted? It's
No,
fun
it
size,
wasn't.
Matt.
It's true. It's true.
You
It's
just
fun
keep it in
size.
your
You can totally
pocket.
Use it
you know?
wherever. But because I
running back to
I
campsites
played
like
the
a
PS4 for like so long, I was like, you can only use that at camp.
Yeah.
What a weird broken mechanic. And then I finally paused the game and saw Fun Size Forge sitting there. I was like,
Well,
no.
And they also added a thing where like you use
so much
you
time
use
wasted.
elements like crafting elements to make stuff, and if they're available in the store, you can just buy them right through the forge. You don't have to
That
like
was-
leave and go to the
another thing.
store. You can just
Yeah.
be like, oh, you don't have these components. Do you want to buy them? And they don't like rip you off either. They just charge you the regular price.
And I would even be okay if they ripped me off for the
Right,
convenience.
right, for the
Yeah.
convenience. So I got on that. Finally, so I got on the Switch, played it like an hour, and then I just recently played it when it came to Game Pass. It came to Game Pass and released on, I think, like PS5 and or PS4. Like the definitive got released on PS4, which is crazy where it started. It started there, and then Switch got the definitive, and PlayStation didn't. And then like another year later, PlayStation,
Everyone has it
Xbox,
now,
and
yeah.
Steam got it. And so I started playing it, and then got you to start playing it again, but you had to start over.
And that was the thing. I was like, because I'd just gotten a new TV, so I was like, I might as well use it on the Xbox and make the most out of it instead of the Switch. So I'm going to start all the way over. And I didn't remember anything
But-
anyway, so.
Now I'm long done with it. I'm on the Bug Fables, and I'm really trying to get Matt to stop playing Dragon Quest
but I hate it.
to play Bug Fables.
What's
because
this Bug Fables all about?
It's like basically a very like small indie team made game that's like a Paper Mario game. It's like a sequel. I mean, it's all original, but if you like the aesthetic and the play style of the original Paper Mario and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, they never got any more sequels in that vein. The franchise continued, but it started changing radically, and so. You know, I don't know any of the history behind it, but I imagine fans of those games when we're gonna make another one, but it's like our own game, our own world, and it's just called Bug Fables, and it's about like bugs. But like it does an amazing job of like 100%. If you like those games, you will like this game. People were telling me to play it for a while. I was like 7 minutes into the game, and I went, "Oh, I love this! I love this game." This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by ExpressVPN. You know that point in Monopoly, right? When someone else has Monopoly or two, and they just keep taking all your stuff? It's definitely the #1 cause for flipping the board at family game night. Well, your ISPs work in kind of the same way. They have monopolies on the regions they serve, and they use that power to take advantage of their customers. That's you. Not only are there data caps and streaming throttles, they also log your internet activity and sell that data to big tech companies or advertisers. That's why I protect my data using ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an app for your devices that encrypts your network data and tunnels it through a secure VPN server so no one can see any of your activity. Think about it. Every site you visit, video you watch, message you send, that all gets tracked by ISP who can sell it for profit. That's why I recommend ExpressVPN. I've been using ExpressVPN for over a year now. It's easy to use on all my devices. It doesn't slow down my internet. You just push a button, you're protected, okay? All you gotta do is download the app, tap one button, and you are protected by the #1 rated VPN service. So stop handing over your personal data to ISPs and other tech giants who mine your activity and sell off your information. Protect yourself with the VPN I trust to keep me private online. Visit expressvpn.com/offtopic. That's expressvpn.com/offtopic to get 3 extra months for free. Go to expressvpn.com/offtopic right now to learn more. And they actually do new stuff. It's not just a clone. They actually have a lot of like original stuff. It feels like what could be like a third Paper Mario, like if they kept going like, hey, we took this and we've evolved. Like, for example, there's no partners. It's just actual 3 party members. But it's like, because in Paper Mario, it's like you've got Mario and then you have like 7 partners you get throughout the journey and they all do different stuff. They kind of just say, here's 3 party members and they all do stuff. They all learn stuff, but like they all have health. They're all like main fighters and you can swap them and they don't have badges, they have medals. It's the exact same thing. But like, it's cool. It's great looking and it's new. I mean, it came out like the end of 2019, so it's only a year and a half old.
Yeah.
And then there was like this big, why people were telling me about it, because I recently played the first Paper Mario. They had a big patch come out at the end of 2020. Again, that's like tons of just like quality of life stuff. Just makes it easier. Like I guess at some point later in the game, you get a medal that makes you walk faster. They're like, fuck it, you just start the game with that. So you move faster. When you go to like cook stuff, because there's like Paper Mario's just like recipes where you just combine items and get another one. If you press A, he just cooks like 3 times fast. You don't have to like sit there and watch him do the slow animation. And it's like, I get it from like a development standpoint, you know what I mean? You want it to look nice and crisp and everything, but then when you're like playing it, you're like, just go fucking just make the fucking food. Just be done. So you can push the button if you want, and the guy's like
when Link goes, let me make the thing.
Yep. Bing!
Yeah. Like he holds up.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Well, you can even like skip that after like the first time you've seen it too. Yeah.
I guess so.
Sometimes even that though, with Breath in the Wild too, like am I wrong that you skip it and the time it takes for to skip that scene is the same damn amount of time it would be to watch him cook it?
Yeah, but you were doing something. You're rapping on that button.
It's like a little faster, but yeah, you get that like serotonin.
Oh, you don't want to watch this?
I sped it up. Me.
Pokemon healing was another one of those things. Bing, 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 and you're just like, just heal my dead ones.
That's the
and
other
you're pushing
thing.
it like it actually makes it go faster. It doesn't.
And heal.
I saw somebody in the chat mention, which is cool about Bug Fables, is it's got a hard mode, which is just a medal. It's just a badge that you can equip. And like literally the room you start the game in, you can talk to someone and they give you the medal. And it doesn't cost anything to equip it. It's like 0 points. So you can turn it on if you want. It makes the enemies, I think, do more damage. I don't know if they have more health too, but it makes them do more damage, but also like changes their attacks and stuff. Like it's harder in more than just like tweaking the stats. It does actually change their like strategies and stuff a bit. But you also get more experience for defeating them. Yeah. And you get, I think, like increased item drop rate, like at the end of battles. But the really cool part is like, certain, I guess, mini bosses and bosses throughout the game, if you beat them wearing that badge, you get rewarded like really good medals for doing it, which I think you can buy at some point later, but one, you're getting them for free, and two, you get them early. So it's just like really nice to be rewarded for playing on hard as opposed to just like, it's hard. So like, I'm playing the game on hard, and it's because of also I've played Paper Mario, 40 times. And it's, if you know how to play that game, you know how to play this game. So I'm like, I'll do it. And it's exciting for me, Matt, and maybe this would like apply to you as well, because I have to use items.
Oh, really?
You can't beat it without healing. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh my God, I'm using items. Like, you're getting items and they're useful.
There's still,
holding on to them
I
forever?
know, like, there's so many times in Dragon Quest where I look at it and I'm like, this character can't heal that person, but if they die, I can just revive them. I've got a spell that can revive them. I'll wait. Go ahead, you can die. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll get you back up next turn.
See,
I'm like-
I don't like turn-based combat, so I've never enjoyed playing games like that. But watching Michael too, I like the art style. Have you played Okami or no?
I have.
Okay,
That's a really good game.
I love that game. Not
It's like that, but Paper Mario.
Yes.
They're like combined.
same art style with that fighting style.
It's like the flat,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like people turn, yeah, it's like a piece of paper is turning with
Yeah.
you, stuff like that. But they also like, I use the term rotoscoping, but that's not what it is. They do a good job of making three-dimensional spaces using the 2D look, which I appreciate. Like Michael showed me a scene where you're in like a beehive. You're kind of walking around talking to all the bees. I'm like, it feels like there's depth here. I'm not bored. I don't know.
It's also, I'll say too, it's more interesting on the map than Paper Mario. They actually do more like platforming and puzzles and shit.
Oh, nice.
Which doesn't, like one of the dudes can freeze water into ice blocks. So like you'll freeze water into ice and then switch to another guy because he's like a beat only stronger and he can like hit the block and you need to use that as like a stepping stone to do shit. So it's actually like really well made, and like I think it's like an incredibly small number of people made the game. It's like a handful of people made the game. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
So
It's actually made by bugs.
if you like Paper Mario, Bug Fables available on all the stuff. You can get it wherever. And that's the first bell. There it is again. They just won't stop. It's louder than ever. Hey-o. Thanks, firsties. You thirsty firsties out there, appreciate your unwavering support. Did you think about wavering? No. Because now I said it. Just a little moment and off topic to say, hey, thanks. Have you played Bug Fables? Tell Matt to stop playing Dragon Quest XI and start Bug Fables. He'd love it. And by the time he's done with Bug Fables, Dragon Quest XI will be available on another platform. He can start all over again. Just saying. And on the topic of first, or should I say FERT, Trevor, do you have something to tell people if they're fans of FERT?
If you're a FERT member, we have a piece of merch for you. FERT you. It's in the store, store.richteeth.com. As always, I think it's only available for first members. It's got a little ding, a little bell.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God.
But yeah, you guys are eating it up. You're eating up that FERT. And I love a little FERT
Sucking
group.
up the FERTs.
I don't know how FERT started, but I love it.
Do you
I
not know
know.
now? It was
We know.
Chelsea.
Well, I know it was like
typo.
Chelsea, and then there was something about there was like an animal in there. I think a raccoon was in some of the designs. I don't know.
That was just from the week we talked about it.
I called the chat our
Oh,
trash
right.
canvas. Yes.
Someone looked it up, and yeah, I just kind of.
You're combining everything.
I'm combining everything. I don't
FERT,
know.
what began as a mistake, has now evolved into merchandise. Merchandising. But the shirt, if you're wondering, it's the FERT and it's the little bell. It was that bell you just heard. So it's like we had a couple options. We went for the cutie bell.
Yeah, we went with the cute.
It's like this.
cutie
Ready?
bell.
It's like.
I'm a bear.
It's like the baby from Fallout 3. You know when you get the baby in your inventory?
I didn't play Fallout 3.
What the fuck? Hey, okay.
That's another one.
Bug
I started,
Fables,
and
then
I just
Fallout
didn't
3,
finish.
then you go back to Dragon Quest XI.
I think I blew up Megaton and I was like, oh well.
All I know is at one point
That's
you
it.
get a baby in Fallout 3 and it goes in your inventory and it's an item that just says baby. And it's a picture of a baby, like in a little,
Fold that up.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and you're just running around with
Thank
it.
you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's-
FERT.
I thought of a
FERT, Mert.
back of Notre Dame bells.
FERT,
so,
shirt, Mert.
We were on the same page there. I don't know. Yeah.
That's not a baby.
Poland.
Nope.
That's a
Poland.
grown-ass bell.
To Quasimodo, it certainly was.
Brought to you by the country of Poland. When it comes to items in games, I think Skyrim was one of my first games kind of entering into that kind of territory where you have like...
Someone bought Bug Fables.
Oh, nice. You can
Nice. craft
like potions and boosts and stuff. Like Pokemon has heals and all of those things. And
It's
like,
very watered down.
you can boost your PPs, right, when you run out of like Blizzard or whatever, right? PP. But you know, you use the potions. But yeah, Skyrim was like, why would I bother with all this alchemy unless I wanted to become a god?
Yeah.
And so like
that's
you
why
end
you
up
do it.
just with all this trash.
Some of
I
it's
would
just
eat
so
every time I got an ingredient, I would
complicated.
eat it raw.
Some of it's so complicated, man.
And then by the time you get to the fight, you're already like OP because you did all the side quests before you did the main, and then you just one hit the boss and off you go.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and go, hold on, sir.
The thing I hate the most is like, you see me like break my character.
Yes.
And like the main reason I broke my character was so I could carry more stuff.
Yeah.
So I could just steal it and then sell it later. There was no like I see all those like health potions. I'm like, they're still mine. I still must take all of them.
Yeah.
No matter what. But I can't be hurt.
What's-
So there's no reason to have them.
See, I'm
But
not,
am I gonna not
I'm
take
gonna
it?
not do it. It's right there.
at least you had like a purpose for it. I'm not a genuine klepto, but in real life, I like unintentionally, I'll take pens or people's stuff without thinking a lot. So when I play, I know, with a, stuff like sweatshirts and like people's small little nicky knacks, and I go, how'd they get this? Here you go.
Cars, cars.
Yeah. But when I started playing games,
Like, wake up. How am I here? What did I do?
what happened? Step into it. That's so Raven discussion from earlier. That's what would happen. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Point being, I started playing games where you'd be over encumbered, and I'd want to take everything. So like Skyrim, I spawned in. I was like, oh, a bowl, a spoon.
A wheel of cheese.
Yeah.
10 pounds, please.
Michael's like, why are you grabbing that? I'm like, it's cool. Look at it. Like,
And then you play the whole game really slow when you walk around.
I'm coming for you, dragon.
That's why I did that. I broke my character to carry 14 million pounds
Holy
of stuff just so I
crap.
could
It's
like
terrible.
clear a room.
See, it's terrible in games like Skyrim or Fallout because you have a weight. You know, in stuff like Dragon Quest, and like, it's like you can. Some shit has multiple uses, which is also the worst. You know, it's like some games alchemy is like, okay, you can make this weapon, but to make another weapon, you need this weapon. So it's like the weapon plus an item. You know, what's nice about Dragon Quest XI is there's no limit on what you can hold, and like your ingredients are just your ingredients. That's
Yeah.
it. So it's just like as you're collecting them, they're just sort of sitting there. And then when it could be 10 hours later, you're gonna make something and you go, oh cool, I have this shit already. Or I have this shit. It's
Yeah.
games like
I never know how
Fallout
much I have.
where you're like, oh my God, what do I keep? Or what do I save? I guess I'll just keep putting this in a chest somewhere and I'll never come back to it and I'll never use it.
That exact thing though makes me feel like the hero isn't really a hero. Because so often I burst into people's house. I'm like, yeah, shut up, people. This.
Yeah, we'll listen.
They have shit
Here's it,
like
you're
that.
questing,
That would
okay?
be me
Yeah.
as the Witcher. I just kick in the house
Yeah.
of this very unfortunate family. Who there's a house in Witcher 3 that has one room and like kind of a semi-divider, and we've got one bed and like 4 kids and a husband and wife, and they just toil. They just walk in circles
toil?
in the house. They just like they walk around.
They're waiting for you.
I'm here, and then they keep toiling, and then I just go, you don't have any goods, but I'll take what you got, and then you leave them. Yeah.
I'm just saying, imagine we live in a world where there's this
society,
this
as it were.
threat, this universal threat, and the one person who's gonna stop this calamity comes into your house. You wouldn't care if they took your toaster.
They don't normally know that.
Right.
In
But
fact,
it's
in fact,
stranger
they
danger
felt- there's so
extreme.
many
I'm just
times
saying,
where
if they were like, Dragonborn here, I'm taking your spoons, you let them have your spoons.
There's so many times in Dragon Quest they react when you like break stuff in front of them too. They're like,
Dude,
what are you doing
Dragon
that
Quest
for?"
is great because you pick the pots up and
Yeah.
you smash them
It's
like
right
in front of. How do you like that?
Maybe Dragon Quest doesn't apply, but in damn near every single war in which someone is chosen to be like the savior of the world, everybody else in their world hates them and wants them dead.
Well,
for
actually,
some
it is
reason.
Dragon Quest.
Well, go there you go.
100%.
Because the king is a prick.
But he's not a prick intentionally.
No, but he also doesn't age.
That's true.
And it
No one-
infuriates me.
No one
In
really
20
ages
years,
other than your
have you gotten to a point yet where you're face to face with that guy?
Yes, I have.
And you realize he's like 19 feet tall?
Very tall.
It's very weird.
I do like Sungwon has a sketch about that though, where like you go into video games into someone's house and you unintentionally take something and then you're called a thief and you must kill them. But I like
It just escalates,
Yeah.
just builds on itself.
Well, you're going,
give it back.
well, yeah, you
Say
can't put it
sorry.
back. You're like,
thief.
fuck. You're trying to talk to the guy and there's a plate on the counter or something.
Yeah.
I like the translation of that idea into real life also. And we've obviously done that with like immersion and things like that. But I love just thinking about, like Trevor said exactly, busting into someone's house and going, oh, is this your shit?
Oh my God.
I think
I believe it.
Who the hell was that?
And when Lindsay does it in our real life, Lindsay would go,
Just imagine like a dude reading like the paper, like hearing it happen. Dragonborn again, eh?
Yeah. Third time this week.
Dragonborn, and then the paper just disappears. They keep the animation on. Like,
Someone's reading the paper and they go, honey, who was that? Lindsay's back in their face.
again, eh?
Thanks for the bowl.
thanks for the
bowl.
bowl.
And it's a ripple effect, you know? That's exactly what happened to me. I forget, I think it starts with an M. The chat's always good with this stuff. I forget the name, but it's in Skyrim, and it's the town all the way out to the left.
Milady?
Markoth?
Markoth.
Yeah.
I hate that place.
And you go through the giant gates, you're like, what a beautiful city. And I'm talking to somebody, and I nick like a roll off this cart out front.
You hungry?
Like, oh, I didn't want to. I wanted to pay you for your goods and services. And then the guard's like, hey, what are you doing here? And I'm like, well, half my armor is absolutely stolen, but you wouldn't know that because I took it from the ruins.
I'm an honest
I took it
man.
from a museum that was supposed to be closed.
Miles away.
And I said,
Well, they tracked it.
you're not. And then I just did a spin maneuver off his head, goes, shove him into the river. He's fine. No one saw. But this little bratty little kid saw everything.
And you
You can't kill the kids. Can't kill the kids.
sure
So
can't.
they run off. They go find other guards. The guards start swarming. The town is angry. Everyone's up in
Just
arms.
leave for a bit.
And no, the bounty stays. And so, unfortunately, in my latest save of Skyrim, no, the whole town's dead. They're all gone. I slaughtered the city. And the child, well, I
Can't kill you.
tried
he
to
wishes
do,
he could die.
The child
wishes
will.
he could die.
You've killed the child just through extenuating circumstances.
Yes.
He now has no one to care for him
Yeah,
or
no
feed him
support
or
system.
shelter him.
Well, there's plenty of rolls out front.
There you
Trust
go.
me, I stole
will
them.
die.
Jesus.
Probably.
The child will die.
In my personal canon, they're dead.
I know I've seen Jeremy a couple times do Fallout 3 with a mod where you can kill the children.
It seems necessary.
I wanted to kill the children.
Well, just like
I
what you
stole-
said. Well, come on. Well, in Fallout 3 specifically, there's like a whole
You used to be like a perk to kill them.
there's a whole area of like little asshole children.
Fallout.
Like it's like a town or something.
I want a mod
Or
where
maybe
you
Was that
New
orphanage?
Vegas. I don't know. It's 3 or New Vegas.
give me a
Those
mod
have
where you
really-
adopt them. I want all of them.
They put it in Skyrim.
Oh, there we go.
There's a thing you
I want to
adopt
train that
kids.
kid to be the next Dragonborn. Yeah.
I don't think that's
Not
how
sure
that
You
works.
have to be born
yeah.
with
Yeah.
it. Done.
Maybe maybe
How
before
do you want it?
you do an IV.
Just gotta want it, you little bastard.
Like Batman Beyond. I want to be old Batman, but old Dragonborn.
Maybe the Witcher
Get it
thing.
Sure does.
You can make them into a Witcher, because that's a process
It is.
that
Here we
can
go.
be. I mean, if you survive the trials.
Oh, okay. I will. I think I'll make it. Right.
Well,
I got
odds are, you
I got
know,
the chutzpah.
odds are we're all gonna die.
Before we get too far away from like JRPGs, one thing that always bothered me with them was like most houses are not houses. They're like, I live in this room. There's a table and a refrigerator. That's it.
well,
Jay, you don't know what wall pulls down into it.
I
the
guess
old
that's
air
true.
conditioning,
I guess
dude.
that's
Wait,
true.
what?
they just sleep in the fridge.
I thought you were gonna sleep
Sleep in
on
the
the air
fridge.
conditioner.
No. The refrigerator is the air conditioner.
Oh,
It's like-
hot in here, huh? Just open the door.
It's like Pokemon. Think about that. Like you always start the game in your room.
Yeah.
And then you go downstairs and you see your mom, and there's no other doors other than the front door. And I'm like, where do you sleep? In my room? Like,
Well,
There's
maybe,
like-
maybe you wake up in your mom's room.
Matt, you were talking about your comfy couch earlier. You're telling me your mom's
think
not sleeping on the couch.
couch, the kitchen table
On the floor.
Hey, you check the TV and you're like, just a couple of kids walking down the railroad tracks.
Hold on. Matt's just broken up an entire Pokemon conspiracy. Your mom sleeps at the Professor's house.
Yes, absolutely.
Professor's house still only has one room.
It sure does.
With how many beds in the
And how
room?
much sleeping going on.
It's a bang palace, dude. Flip the table over, mattress.
No one-
Hold down
no
all the
one's-
art,
no one's
mattresses.
sleeping,
You move the oven with strength. Bang basement.
You go like this.
It is a sex
I
room.
I guess
Very
I
white
didn't
house
think about people
Yeah.
moving the
All
oven with strength and having a secret
Do you think there's
basement
like?
underneath.
Do you think there's human moves that you can do? Like if you like when you're in school, they give you like Matt.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
what
you to have-
HMs are.
I want you to I want you to have
Yes.
HM5, and it's just like real raunchy maneuvers. You know, like it's for the bang palace. You know, like
Who put in the
professors
Kama
make it all
Sutra
sorts of
HP?
HM69. Yeah, you open the book and you're like, oh, that's how I make the.
We have a new health bar here. What's it for? Oh God, you're not old enough yet.
Don't worry about it.
You don't know.
But like most JRPGs just have that where it's like there's no bed or anything in the house. But Dragon Quest does have beds at least.
Maybe they just have bedrolls. And
They could
they're
have
rolled
bedrolls.
up.
Sleeping bags.
But normally there's not a lot of room. Normally it's just like you have a one-room house.
That's true to Japan too. There's not a lot of room.
Yes, I guess that could be true.
It's a very
Also
vertical
true.
city.
Matt busts in. He's
Or
going, where the
ten-
fuck
where
are
you
your
sleep?
bedrolls?
What is
this?
Sleep,
Where
sleep,
are
sleep.
you? Like, oh.
I don't
Don't
understand.
anymore.
Get out.
Also, how did I get here? Anyone know?
They're like
Give me your spoons.
And I'll take that cheese wheel while I'm here.
Yeah, thank you. Trevor's talking about the future of education, which I've wanted since The Matrix's creation, where they
Yeah?
just go, you want to learn this?
I
And they
know
put it in
Kung
your head.
Fu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I can fly a helicopter. Damn it.
I
Well-
can fly helicopter.
I'll be the old crotchety man demanding that we don't go down that path because I'm like, I spent 20 years in school and so will you.
In my day, we
It's
formed the
your
wrinkles
pain.
in our brain the hard way
With a hammer.
Hammer.
by inhaling asbestos.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
It's I'm starting to get little glimpses of ways that we will become the next crotchety generation, right? Like things will start to be, because technology started to arise when we're kids and video games and whatnot, and all of our parents were like, "It'll rot your brains."
Yeah.
Like, well, that was the same thing when fiction came out, when like people made up stories. People said reading will rot your brain.
Yeah.
I'm already there. I'm like angry
wanna
that this
get my brain
generation.
robbed.
That anyone
Did I say
can.
rop?
Rob props? You know what I meant. Listen.
I'm gonna giving up on the word a little bit.
I'm angry that people
to
can
give
just
up.
look up anything on YouTube now. Like, for example, growing up, I had zero fashion sense or how to like do makeup or hair or anything. And now I'm looking at like, not that they should be pressured to do it, but I'm seeing kids who are in high school and they have like flawless makeup. I'm like, how do you do that? I'm
They
like, oh,
got
there are
the
tutorials.
ombre. Like I've seen some like really cool
Super
blending
eyebrow.
techniques.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking
I'm
about.
jealous. Yeah, but
What's even like something as simple as like knowing basic shit about a car, right? That was like knowledge you would have to know.
or know someone who knew it.
Right, but like windshield fluid, like how do you refill the windshield
Right.
fluid?
Change a tire.
How do you
Put it
change a
outside.
tire?
And a battery.
How do you change a headlight? And it's different on every car.
Yeah.
And now you just go, this is my car. This is what I need to do. Okay, that's how you do it.
And then there's like
that's just such
Jeff
simple
from
information.
Midas is like, hey, work at Midas, but YouTube channel, subscribe. Anyway, I've got this 05 Trailblazer or whatever, and he's like, it's something so niche. I love that.
I was able to fix
Like the Home
our
Depot pay mixer could do.
Lindsay's parents got us a fire pit like a couple of years ago for our house in the backyard, and like it sat outside forever, never getting assembled. And by the time it got assembled, it never worked. And like it runs on propane, and so I put the propane in, and it just like you hold the button and light it, and it's supposed to sit for a while. You let go, and it stays lit. And so then like we had it, and it's like really nice, and it's like a table, and then has like the like kind of charcoal that gets hot in the middle, but again, it just runs off propane. It's just for like the aesthetic, and then
Right,
the flames
looks
come
like
through.
it's coming through.
So it's still like nice to sit around and shit, but I'm just like, wow, I wish it worked. And like last year when the pandemic started, and I thought, hey, we're all at home for a couple of weeks. I decided to like work on my backyard, and I started getting like patio furniture and stuff like that. And the first thing I did was like, let me take another crack at this fire pit. And I like finally went down like just like a YouTube search rabbit hole, which was a 2-minute video of someone fixing their totally different fire pit. One that's like, this is like a big, heavy kind of like table that sits on the ground. And the one this dude had was almost like a grill. Like you could just like flip it over. It was on like stands, but basically still worked the same way. And he was like, yeah, mine didn't work, blah, 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 blah. And it's the same way mine wouldn't work. And he goes, here's this little nut right here. I just turned it and it worked. I found the thing, turned it, and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
It was like, just because it's like.
It was nuts.
It's
What's
like
a nut?
So the connection, it's like the electrical connection that's running to the
Starter.
the propane, and like that current has to like once you let go of the button, it's supposed to still be running, and like if this little nut is like a 1/4 inch loose, it won't hold that current. And I just went, and I was like, oh, it works now. I fixed it. And it's just like that would have never happened without the internet.
Right.
And some guy going, mine didn't work either. Here's how I fixed it.
Right.
And I was
In the
like, oh
90s,
shit.
There was no Nintendo Power for. Well, maybe there was, Matt. Would you know? Was there a propane?
A propane Nintendo Power?
Propane and propane accessories sort of magazine.
I have no idea.
And
I don't study up on I watch King of the Hill.
I mean, yeah, I just watched the show, damn it. But
actually, Hank.
there's I don't know. I think a lot of people say I was born in the wrong generation or whatever. I feel like I was born just right because I really appreciate growing up in the internet age because I like to learn. We were talking about that. I like to learn shit, and it's all literally at our fingertips. And I think there's definitely times where we all know that and we do take it for granted. But it's times like that, Michael, where it's like you find somebody. It's not the same technology. Or like, for example, I was working on my fridge yesterday. I'm like, why is the ice machine not working? And you start getting in there, and then I pulled the thing off.
Matt was working on your
Fridge, yeah.
We worked on each other's. I was messing with the hoses underneath. I actually like cleaned out the air filter, the air thing underneath. And so I'm like, well, I didn't fix the ice machine, but I fixed a lot of other things to make the fridge better.
There you go.
But like, I don't know. There's something really satisfying about that because I also like learning about home improvement stuff because, like, sure, you could hire whoever to fix things in your house, and that can be very costly. Or like, there's something very satisfying about, because my dad's a builder, understanding like the building blocks behind the walls and stuff, because it's actually very simple. And once you start knowing those little pieces, you can be like, oh, this thing's not working. Let me just hit the breaker, take the panel off, and like you can start messing with it. I don't know. It's just very satisfying.
Well, I mean, not to get on like a soapbox of it, but I think like we've been sold on the idea of consumerism, and like we can't do this. Like, oh, shouldn't. It's probably above you to try and fix this. It's way too hard. Hire someone to do it. And I'm not trying to disparage people that you hire to do it, but I feel like people make it seem way harder than it is to repair a lot of things in your home. So especially during quarantine, I've been finding videos like that. It's like small home improvement little bits. I put on the safety locks in our kitchen for our kids, like things that seem very intimidating but are easy to do. And I'm so jealous that, I don't know, like you said, this generation has that ability now, specifically TikTok. I'm surprised by how much I've learned from TikTok. Yeah. And like, just like TikTok has some negative aspects, but we've learned a lot from it.
Dark corners on it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to blow smoke up TikTok's ass, but I've learned a lot. So it's cool.
It's all about. It's not about TikTok.
TikTok actually sucks the smoke into its ass.
Exactly.
It's about the creators. What's one thing that like, I'll start you up. One of the things that I learned from TikTok that I had no idea about at all, that is like super basic at-home appliances, is that there is a filter of some sort in your washing machine. In the bottom left, there's like a little flap panel that can. I've seen it. I've never known what it is. You pull down that flat panel, and there's like a drip tray. And basically a lot of like solid waste, usually lint or whatever, and solid waste that can't just run out the pipes, kind of gets pulled together and filtered into this. And there's like a little hose. You just pull out the hose, make sure you have a cup or something ready. Just drains some crap into it. It reeks of all hell. But that's just as common apparently as the lint catcher in a dryer. But we all know the lint because it's right there and you clean it out every time.
Yeah.
But apparently you're supposed to do that consistently with the washer too. And I'm like, that blew my mind. I had no idea about that.
Oh yeah. Or like, we've talked about it before, but like we recently were able to get a hot tub, which is awesome. But Michael talked about maintaining that hot tub and just looking at videos and small things and like little bits and bobs that you would never think about. Like, okay, tub needs water and electricity done. It's like, there's so many little inner workings that you wouldn't think
chemistry.
about. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I get the pH balance.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, but also oddly satisfying. It's like time to check the pH balance and like put the strip in and go, that won't do it all.
You're like the dad that gets down on the lawn and starts like feeling, is the grass level?
That's the feeling. Take out like little scissors.
Yeah. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen lawn TikToks yet, but I'm getting the Hank Hill vibes where I feel proud of my lawn. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Good.
Look at that thing. That's my
There's a
lawn,
whole
That's out
TikTok.
there.
There's a whole TikTok around cleaning pools. Like this guy, and it's so nice because it's great for my ADD. Like 1 minute long, the guy drains a pool, like power washes, squeegees all the scuzz that comes off the walls, all the mud and stuff, fills it back up, puts in the chemicals, tests the water, like, and then the thing looks
winks at the
beautiful.
camera.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
Well, Trevor's right. I think a TikTok max is like a minute. Max
Something like
post, something
that,
like that.
something
Yeah.
like
So I've seen cleaning TikToks where they're like, okay, let's clean our bathroom. Go, and it's like squirt, 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 done. You're like, ah, it's so nice. You're right. The satisfaction. That's wiping it down.
Another one. Listen, Lindsay and I can be your filter audience.
Hey.
Another one though, guys, at the table here, that I picked up, and I was blown away. So TikTok moves markets. I'm just saying it. But there was one that I saw that was from a woman who owns a cleaning service, and she's like, listen, if you want to have a clean shower, because it's one of the most pain in the ass things to clean, here's what you should do. Clean it while you're in it, and there's these brushes that have, this is old stuff, but like there's brushes that can have the Dawn in it, or whatever dish soap you use. And you push a button and it squeezes out, and it's meant for dishes. I got one with like with the bristles, so it's a little stiffer, like half white vinegar and half Dawn, or again, Ajax or whatever. And then wash it while you're in the shower. Dude, that actually really quickly cleaned up all the crap in my shower. And it was so good, or so popular, I should say. When I went to buy one in the first place off of Amazon, they were wiped out of all of their stock.
Really?
And so I had to go to Prime Now to hope it was in a local grocery store, Whole Foods or whatever. I got Prime. It's the same thing.
Okay.
But I'm like, it's pretty funny, like how some of these viral TikToks get product to move off the shelves. Like they emptied out Amazon. It was wild. You should do that.
Even just like day-to-day
Clean
stuff.
your hard water stains. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
That too.
Or if you're in
Absolutely
Texas,
should.
you get the pink stuff because the mildewy gets kind of like pinkish, like that. You don't have that reddish stuff?
No.
I think so.
That's blood.
I have like
you.
That's blood.
we have like a light brown sometimes.
I don't listen. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
But it gets it gets like a little like mildew, and then it's a bright white.
I'll go
The
home.
grout's shining.
I'll tell you. I'll find some samples. Put in a petri dish.
Yeah.
Here you go. Yeah. Clean this.
Eat it.
Suck it
Do you have a
down.
TikTok, Matt, or no?
I haven't really.
You don't talk?
No.
Yeah, I haven't
No.
entered that area, but I see TikToks on Instagram, which is like the sad third-party way to
Mm-hmm.
ingest them, because I just don't want to cross that threshold. I've also learned a lot about just like cultural differences, and it is like ignorant to say this, but it's true. Like we, as our generation, ingested media through television or some kind of filter, and now that filter has been removed, where people from all over the world can upload content that is relevant to their sexual orientation, their gender identity, whatever it may be. And earlier we were talking about just like growing up and being exposed to different viewpoints, and going, wow, this is awesome. Like that's so cool that people have that access now. It didn't exist not too long ago.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was MySpace, but those are people like, especially at that time, it was still very much like, I was still a bit skeezed out by like putting your name on the internet and then putting all your interests. But like, why does MySpace or Facebook need to know? Anyway, that's my opinion. But like, that's where we were at on the internet, where it was like only befriend people that you're friends with. But then it was also kind of the beginnings of like, there was AIM in there and AOL and like forums and stuff. So that was the beginnings of like developing online friendships, right? Playing Xbox Live with people that you met on. So that kind of like eked in. But now it's just like, whatever,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you guys had the whole phrase, like my parents were like, do not put your real name online. You're like, find a fake name, and like it's gone now, so whatever.
Yeah,
Mine was
see.
Lynn's Pitch 711 because I played softball and my number was 7 or 11. So it's like my
So
name.
they figured out that your name was Lindsay and that you played softball. So they
Yep,
actually figured out a
yep,
lot more about
exactly.
you.
That was the thing.
Like, wow. Yeah.
Like I think all of mine just had my name somewhere in there. I'm like,
sure.
I don't care.
Oh, right. Well, Axiomat's like your longest running one.
Yeah,
Right?
that's like the one that in high school.
That's
I was
his
like,
full name,
that's
right?
It? Huh?
Oh my God.
That's it right there.
Axial Matthew.
Axiomat.
My new screen name is B Fables.
Oh, what's the
If you
B stand
find
for?
me- It's a secret.
I'll never tell.
I'm not gonna tell.
about it.
But
You're
ask
saying
Matt.
Yeah,
He's
no.
gonna start playing it soon.
You talk about TikTok too, or no?
Thing is,
Sorry.
you're right, and you know you're right. It's just there's a matter
It's
of time.
so good. It's so good. The funny part about it is I started playing it, and my first thought was, oh, Matt must know about this. And when I mentioned it to you and you didn't know what it was, that blew me away. And then I completely forgot that you were playing Dragon Quest and that it took me like months to get you to play it. And now I'm going, forget about that. Play this. now."
Wait, you confused me for a second. I think you meant Axial.
Yeah.
Would you legally change your name to Axial? That'd be good. Oh.
You can. What do you mean if you could?
Yeah.
I always could.
I can, and I won't.
If we paid the $15 fee to change your name,
Is that it?
it's like nothing.
Really? To change your name legally? It's only $15?
It's not that, but it's something like
probably,
that.
How much could it cost? What is it?
Someone look it up for me. It's cheap.
It's just a form.
I did look it up because I thought
Someone
You're
on the other side.
You're not buying
Do you
anything.
think like someone's at the name change?
I mean, the thing is that's not a
corporation.
thing.
There's
What you're
like-
saying.
No, well, there's an
It's
agency.
It's just a building that does 100 million other things.
NCA. The NCA's out there, the Name Changes Association, and there's one person there, and they take all the files and they go like this periodically through the cabinets.
better make a sound effect.
They
Yeah, okay.
absolutely they do to keep so. And every now and then, they got that $5 copay come through, and they say, this guy wants to be Axial.
Whoa.
But yeah, someone has to keep them
Small
afloat.
fee. I'm just imagining like, oh man, you really want to change your name? I've only got $14.99 though.
Oh, shoot.
Denied.
Sorry,
Out of here.
Shug. No
We
name
need the
change
full
today.
15. We can't lose a penny on this.
I remember because I looked it up because I thought this was a couple years ago, but I thought it'd be funny to change my name for a video, and then I went, "Don't do that." It's like,
That would
Tyler
be
Stab, hot off the
huge
presses.
pain.
yeah,
He says it's between $150 to $436.
that's affordable. Come on.
Change your name.
It's not $15.
I added a zero.
not, but it's not.
I actually jumped. I was like, oh.
Thousands.
Yeah.
There might be
It's the
something
Voodoo
wrong with
Ranger.
me. I've been very jumpy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Okay.
I
No,
get startled,
don't be
too.
sorry.
You haven't seen people for a
Lean
long
into
time.
a whore.
We put the two most anxious
you're all
people next to each other. Why did we do this?
I think what happened is, I think what happened is the curse has been lifted.
It has.
You don't know what to do with yourself.
I know. How do I fill the void?
Well, hang on. Do you know if they lost the footage?
I was about to say we're gonna find out all of it got deleted.
Oh, it's corrupted.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Damn. Well, just like this show right now,
Corrupt-
because it's over.
shit.
dang.
Look, I didn't make the time.
4:30,
Okay.
yeah.
Take us out,
Looking
Axial.
at it.
If I just keep calling you that, one day it'll stick.
No, it won't.
Post shows.
worst part's I'll know you're
Post
talking.
team.
It's true.
We're gonna do the post show. You're gonna watch the post team. See how that works? They're gonna be playing something. What? Who knows?
I see Caden's in the chat. Maybe they know.
Hayden, what's getting played? Answer now, quickly.
I'm going
You
to
have
bet.
5
We'll
seconds.
get that answer in about
I'm
15
going
seconds.
to. I'm going to bet in my head and see if I'm right.
What? Bug
is it?
Fables?
Yeah.
No, it's
hope
not
so.
Bug Fables.
What if they play Bug Fables?
It was
man?
Pummel Party before this.
should play
It's a fun game.
some
Party
B-Fabes.
before this. Okay.
B-Fabes.
Whoa.
Let me see.
B-Fabes.
Now we're all just waiting.
We are. We're just
a-holes.
waiting.
just staring.
And we.
If I were Caden, I would not say anything right now. That's the route. Anyway, it's over.
Go home.
I was scared when I remembered that Matt's actually 6'5". When we came into the office today, I was.
Yeah.
Are you really?
I just haven't
like
seen
King
Matt.
Carnelian. I'm
I haven't seen Matt in so long. I was like, I forgot how
No.
tall you were.
Am I allowed to stand close to Matt
Yeah,
to see
what do you
this?
We'll see it in the
No.
post show.
What are you
I don't
talking
know.
about? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Weird. Anyway,
No.
did Caden answer? We weren't looking.
Yeah, we
oh,
weren't.
Mario Party.
I just saw them say sorry, sir.
They're probably playing.
And then Sarah
don't
said,
apologize.
"You fucked." Now that's $1 in this swear jar, Sarah. Put that on Sarah. I just, I'm
shit.
quoting her.
I'm guessing they're playing the Super Mario Party got an update.
Probably.
So the Switch version now has online,
Super
which I
Mario
believe
Advance
we're
2.
playing tomorrow. Are you in it?
I don't think I am.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't
You're gonna be in it when Gavin isn't. Just so you know.
Oh, of course. I mean, I could beat Gavin.
I didn't make the schedule.
I know.
Blame Sarah. I don't know what you went. Oh, Nintendo game. Why would Matt play this?
I know. She does that very
Sarah,
often.
Snoopy's young in
I
his
think
eyes.
Jeremy's in it over you.
I think every time I tell Sarah I would like to be in something, I'm never scheduled.
the opposite.
Sarah, what's the deal with that?
Sarah.
Sarah, have you seen B movie? It's great.
You see Bug
I think it's me.